Hi all, Chewy from the Magic Beans podcast here with something new for us at least, where we are having a review series. Hopefully will be a series of looking at the Magic Beans gameplay on Arena and figuring out those decision points and lines as they come up, because part of what makes Magic great are those true 50-50 decision points and trying to pick up which one's right or wrong. And so we'll go through our matches, we will review those matches, and we will find those decision points. We'll talk through them, what made us make that particular decision in the context of that particular game, as well as some fundamentals as well. So hopefully each video in this series, we'll try to keep them sort of short and sharp. Short and sharp. Let's make sure we get that right. And we'll have a bit of a lesson. So this is aimed at, like a lot of things that the Magic Beans do, at the newer player, or the player that is looking to take that next step. You like playing Magic and you want to get better. So a little heuristic out of each video, a little takeaway. So we're not going to go into like full depth of strategy, because I'm just not capable of going into full depth of strategy. We'll leave the depths to Marit Lage. Anyway, so what we'll do is we'll jump into one of our league matches. Quick tangent, because I love a tangent. Our league matches through our Discord. The link will be in the description below. You can join our Discord. No sign-up fee, obviously. And you can join our leagues, which are also free to enter. And we have booster packs for prizes. So we run them roughly monthly. And we're just doing our May League at the moment. So the match we're about to watch is Cracker and Shorty from the Magic Beans playing their match. Shorty was streaming this live to Twitch, so I'll pick up the Twitch feed. And there was a couple of decision points that may or may not have impacted the outcome of this game. So this is what we'll do for each of these videos: pick up these plays, and we'll talk through them and discuss them. And to find us on Twitch, check out twitch.tv/magicbeanscast. Check out the podcast on all your normal podcast services, iTunes and Spotify and wherever else. Obviously here as well, we're on YouTube. So if you want to see these videos when they come out, do the like, subscribe, little bell. We stream semi-regular and put those up on YouTube as well with some arena gameplay and such. So if you like what you see, do all that normal YouTube stuff. We'd appreciate it. That's awesome. And we'll jump into the match. Hopefully you guys enjoy this, and really open for some feedback. So put it in the comments, or if there's any particular plays you'd like to discuss, and we can see what we can come up with. Okay, into the match. Okay, so the situation is we've got Cracker and we've got Shorty in round one of the Magic Beans May League. As I mentioned in the intro, join our Discord to sign up for the leagues. They're free to enter, and they have booster packs for prizes. So we've got a little scenario here where Cracker ultimately misses a land drop here, and the Shorty's faced with a decision. And the important thing to do in this situation is to try to capitalize on your opponent missing a land drop. Cracker took a risk. He has multiple cycling cards and a land, and maybe a good 2-drop in his hand. So he's decided to keep it, and the 19 land deck has failed him. So at this point right here, Shorty has the option of playing Lucky Clover, which gets that on the board. That's what his deck's built around. That's where he built all of his value. Or to hold up a Bone Crusher Giant or Brazen Borrower. So by choosing to hold it up, he can kill whatever Cracker plays at the end of Cracker's turn. He can untap with 3 mana, play the Clover, and he can then probably play the Lovestruck Beast, or get the 1/1 off the 2/1/1s off the Lovestruck Beast. But The play I would have made, and kind of the inspiration when I watched this video for me to make this series, was I would have played the Lucky Clover there. Now, Shorty's far more experienced playing this deck than me. I've not played it very much at all, but my thinking is, if Shorty he tapped out for Clover on turn 2, he untaps here, plays the island, has 3 mana, with the Lucky Clover already in play. He can stomp the Rescuer, killing it, putting Cracker to 18. Then, with the green mana left, doing exactly what he's done here now, and put 2 1/1s into play. So he knows that he's on the clock here. He needs to get Cracker dead. He's a beatdown in this scenario because Cracker has Zenith Flare, which is a big haymaker that will ultimately kill Shorty here. So Shorty needs to progress his game plan as quickly and as efficiently as possible, and having that extra 2 points of damage can make an enormous difference. So he's faced with another decision point here. He can play out one of his creatures off adventure, or he can hold up a couple of Brazen Borrowers for Cracker's next plays. Now, Cracker hasn't played a lot of creatures, so he's unlikely to play 2 creatures. So Shorty takes, a solid approach, probably the play that I would make, and just puts a 5/5 into play. So that makes sense. So Cracker hits his Zenith Flare mana. So Shorty definitely now knows that he's on the clock. And a Adraneth Stinger comes down. Shorty takes a couple of points of damage here. So Shorty's now got another choice to make here next turn, because he's drawn all the Brazen Borrowers. He can play his Forest, and here is a decision point right here. So he can play Escape to the Wilds and just try to pull away with card advantage and get a whole bunch of value, potentially some lands into play, and then use that momentum to sort of take over the game a little here. So again, this is another 50-50 decision point, but controlling the board, keeping Cracker's cards off the battlefield, and adding more power into play in the form of Brazen Borrowers or the creature off adventure is potentially the more efficient play. But playing Escape to the Wilds here, I'm not sure that Shorty, if you've gone back and watched the stream, it was really on his radar at this point, but I would have considered it. I don't think I would have played it, but I definitely would have considered that, and just, again, to progress my game plan. So my game plan is to get Cracker dead as quick as possible in this matchup, and even though that doesn't directly put creatures into play, it's going to give me access to more cards, access to more lands to deploy my threats. So it may, depending on the cards on top of my library, and it is a bit of a calculated risk, it may actually take a turn off the clock. But it is a risk. It may do nothing. So I think Shorty's taken the conservative approach here and just held up the Brazen Borrowers. Now he's waiting for value here as well. So he could have just bounced the Adraneth Stinger and attacked for 7, which, because he's got so many Borrowers, is also an option. So if he bounced the Adraneth Stinger, attacked for 7, Cracker would be on 11, and Shorty could have then, still played the Bone Crusher Giant. He wouldn't get the value off the Clover because there's only one target for the Petty Theft, but yeah, definitely worth considering here because it's an extra 2 points of damage, and Shorty is trying to just get Cracker to 0 as fast as he can. So he's missed out on potentially 4 points of damage here, which is, Cracker would be on 9 at the moment. So certainly progressing his plan in that sense. So he still would have taken that ping, I'm sure, but yeah. Cracker then untaps. With, 8 cards and a Rescuer. and he'll get in some cycles here. So we'll just let these triggers resolve. Shorty does here cast a Petty Theft to get value, which, look, is fine in this situation, and this deck is built around value, but recognising that here's the beatdown here is very difficult for for someone to kind of realise. Now, Cracker could have had permanents in play now, so that is worth noting. But Shorty still has 2 Brazen Borrowers. So at this point, he could have Brazen Borrowed things out of the way. He does contemplate the Escape of the Wilds here. I think he's missed his window. But yeah, removing the Brazen Borrowers... bouncing things with Brazen Borrowers could have effectively cleared the board, and it would have been an attack for 11, which would have actually killed Cracker if he'd taken the correct place. Even in this situation, I think Shorty should have attacked with these 2 1/1s. He can't afford, knowing that Shorty plays Stomp, he can't afford to not block the 5/5 or the 4/3. So again, he's missed out on damage. But he actually would have had damage. He would have had lethal this turn. So if we go back to turn 2, playing Lucky Clover, on turn 3, Stomp, then playing the 2 1/1s from the Lovestruck Beast, then using the Brazen Borrowers to just Petty Theft things out of the way, up to 4 permanents, would have cleared the board enough for a lethal attack this turn. Cracker would have had 0 permanents in play, and Shorty would be attacking for 11 and lethal this turn. So really interesting situation based on a play on turn 2, and this is part of what makes Magic great. Now, I said in my intro that I'm not here to bash anybody. Anyone who's watched any of my gameplay videos would know 100% that I've made plenty of mistakes, but this is just a really good demonstration of a decision that you can make really early in the game having an impact, because it puts you behind on momentum or tempo or whatever you want to call it for the remainder of the game. And you can have an opponent who, and we'll see here that Cracker has multiple Zenith Flares, which is what Shorty was racing against the whole time. So Shorty should have won that game, or could have won that game this turn, in the previous turn, and Cracker wouldn't have the opportunity to do this now. So Cracker is going to go to a large life total by casting a bunch of Zenith Flares here. Shorty's just going to get Borrower into play because value. And takes 11 to the face with Zenith Flare. Cracker goes back up to 20. So definitely an opportunity missed. Now, it is worth noting with these plays, I'm assuming that by making these plays, the opponent's still going to play the same way. So that is a really important point. But I guess, my point's not about the specifics of a particular match. It's about having a heuristic to lean on when these situations arrive in your games, where you can call on that heuristic, call on that little easy to remember thing when you've got a 50-50 situation, and it's, what do? I do what my deck does. I progress my game plan. So if you need to get lots of lands into play to cast your ultimatum, then you need to make the decision that puts lands into play, because otherwise you just get stuck in this loop of trying to not die rather than getting the game happening on your terms. So always progress your game plan. I hope you've enjoyed that. It's one of the things that it's a few percentage points here and there. It's a game here and there that you may win. But hopefully with this series, we can have a number of those together, and we can reinforce some things that you already know. And hopefully by me talking about them, I'll remember them a bit more, and I'll get better along the way as well. So Cracker's got Blitz of the Thunder Raptor here, which is an interesting card, probably normally a sideboard card in the cycling deck, but Cracker's made the choice to main deck them here for the league, and it's going to exile a Lovestruck Beast and save him a bunch of damage, and then he's going to untap and Zenith Flare Shorty, and that will be all she wrote. So we'll just let that play out, just so you can watch Shorty loose, because that's what we do like to see here on the Beans. No, it's not true. We love Shorty. You might get some cheeky cycles in here from memory as well, just to get the... no, just go straight for the dome. So the game went on a few turns too long there for Shorty, and Cracker ended up taking the win. Shorty's just, for showmanship, I guess, playing the stomp here with the Clover copy, putting Cracker down to 5. But Cracker then finishes the game on 16. So, yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed this. It is the first in what I hope will be a bit of a series. So lesson number 1 is progress your game plan if you're ever in doubt. When in doubt, progress that game plan. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this at all, give us a like. If you want to, hear more from us, and this will be a series that we'll add to semi-regularly. So, give us a subscribe, hit the bell, all of that thing that you hear everybody else on YouTube say. If you could do that for us as well, that would be fantastic. We really appreciate it. If you want to be part of our leagues, jump into our Discord. The link will be in the video description below. And we're kicked off our May League. They run roughly monthly. They are free to enter. And we have booster pack surprises, as I mentioned before. And our podcast is on all your normal podcast platforms, on iTunes and Spotify and wherever else you get your podcast content. So weekly episodes, we're just published episode 30, so keep a lookout for that. Thanks heaps for watching. We'll see you next time here on the Magic Beans YouTube channel.